How's it going?
It's going good. I'm working on this run of rivets down here. The bolts along the tank were difficult.
Yeah. This may be a more than one day project because it's almost 5.
Yeah, I could probably get most of the rivets back in.
Okay. I have food for you.
Oh, I love food. Weather might be changing here. I think I need to pack things up.
Interesting. I don't know how you got there. That's not where I put you. There's a few more things that are going to blow away that I got to pick up. Just a couple more. Almost done.
It's mostly up. See it hanging down just a hair, but mostly back in place. Boy, that takes so much longer than you'd think.
There's lightning over that way. Yeah, no, the temperature is going to drop like a stone. It's starting to mist really right now. There's the Wobburn eyes. Definitely repelling the water. Small drops. Glad we did that. Taking a moment for some fresh air as the temperature drops. It's kind of misty raining right now, so it's not actually blowing in, but I'll probably have to close it up shortly because the radar looks bad. I think we're going to get something worse than this. Shauna's been making us dinner. I was putting the belly skin up underneath. It's been a while since I did that. Definitely should have had it done before we had to roll out, but didn't get to the work. It's basically done now. I got to put a few more rivets in, then I have to put the stabilizer feet up the next time I've got time to work on that.
Oh man, it's gonna really start coming hard. I think we should close in.
Yeah, probably time to close up.
All right.
All right, fresh air is nice, but
Yeah.
too wet right now. All right, if you start the screen up, I will start to bring this down.
Okay.
Another day, another successful awning trip. Can't trust it forever, but it's working right now.
I like to find a spot for the compressor where it doesn't wind up out in the rain or kind of obvious in the open bed of the truck. One of the locations might be up against the bottom of the bed. We've got to figure out exactly how it fits. I've got the opportunity to go into the kind of scrap steel bin at work and maybe get some angle brackets or what have you. So really I've got to try to figure out how and where it might go, and then I'll be able to make it up in the right configuration to fit it here or possibly down there. People commonly mount the long cylindrical air tank kind of along the frame rail here. I might be able to do that and then put the compressors further back.
There's a big open spot over here, but if we ever get the bigger gas tank, it goes forward and occupies that space. So I'd like to avoid right in this area.
If you're with us last week, you may know that our campground flooded. To be clear, our row didn't end up getting any flooding whatsoever. I still feel good about our decision to leave. 1, we needed a break, but 2, I'm not sure how I would feel about a second flood in our already salvaged flood trailer. This was an accidental purchase. It was unplanned, which isn't typically how we handle things. We typically renovate and grow at the pace of cash, so pretty slow. I'm meal prepping Andrew's lunch. I'm gonna do an egg bake with jalapeno and onion and some cheese. Maybe a little spicy. I'm adding jalapenos, but actually I probably should submerge them because they are likely to scorch in the oven, burn the top of everything in this newer trailer's oven. My other trailer's oven was old, but I can tell you that it cooked more evenly with that element that was underneath the whole metal base instead of that little campfire row at the back in this new oven.
We're still decompressing from last week's flood situation. It's hard to know when you're right in it how bad something's gonna be. And ultimately, I made the decision to try to go to work. Pretty much turned around immediately when I realized that was a bad idea. One of the things that was bad about it was this trailer, Tommy Bahama, was not ready to be towed. We had stuff spread everywhere. So if you saw last week's episode, well, let me just give a brief recap. The spare tire was not held correctly. The stabilizer feet were stored underneath the trailer, not attached. Tool totes outside. Make a nice little coffee table when the weather's good. But what that left Shauna with was a bunch of stuff to deal with, and ultimately that was not a good idea. These double stabilizer feet are incredibly heavy, and ultimately she probably would have just left them behind. They're huge finger pinch hazard, etc., etc. All right, here's that. Here's the big pin that Shauna found. I had hidden the correct one safely away, but in a pinch, she found one that would definitely work, especially with no tire in there. It is a little bit smaller, but perfect, perfect solution for the time. Well done. About there. Shauna is strong and more than capable, and I really wasn't thinking about it from her perspective, which is it would have been all the normal hitch up and go work, but the amount of, like, this thing stuck underneath the Airstream, she would have had to just, you know, drag it out and leave it. Heavy tool totes, all that. You know, thinking about it later as I'm sitting down, it was a lot. That water came up a solid 10 feet over the normal stream level. Another 2 feet would have swamped our site and all the way to the entrance, all the way to the main road. So we were very close to having this trailer flooded and a real serious problem. What this means is we're gonna set a new baseline so that Shauna isn't put in this position again. Toward that end, I'm going to get these stabilizer feet back attached. People have mentioned getting manual ones, and I totally agree, but right now, that's hundreds of dollars, and I'd rather limp these along and get them working. People have inquired as to whether we can use a socket and an impact on this to operate them manually. That's what we've got to attach to.
Boy, is it humid. I brought you a mic.
Oh, that's a lot of hair.
And it's really humid.
I see.
I brought you a mic in case it's windy.
Yep, okay. Your hair suggests it's windy. If you're experiencing technical difficulty, please stand by.
Would you like a drink? I don't want you to...
Probably, yeah. I've got these started. I'm just giving them a little bit of spray to help them get up in there. Whew. I had to run this one all the way back out, re-oil it, put it back in. It's finally going in. I'm not sure why it was binding. I definitely don't want to cross thread anything here. Pretty important to keep this stuff structural, so yeah, taking my time, being careful. Getting there. Just a couple left. Getting this thing lined up is not fun. It weighs a lot, and it's basically like a giant set of finger scissors if you don't know where the pinch points are. So if you want to work on one of these things, I'd advise caution. Possible, but just pay attention to what you're doing. Stabilizer feet are up and secure. Those rocks off there. This, while not heavy, was one more item of clutter that, you know, shouldn't have been left around for a quick exit. So trying to get ahead of all this stuff today. I'm gonna have to come back and deal with the wiring on the stabilizer feet. I still don't have good voltage. I don't know why. I remade another connection up in here, got it clean, got it right. I think further back there might be yet another wiring connection that's given us trouble here. That's all for later. For right now, the main goal is to get this trailer back together so if it needs to be rolled out, we can roll out. I've got to resecure the propane lines. There's also another small bit of belly skin up there that I'll need to re-rivet as well, and then the same on the other side. One more thing on the stabilizer feet. A viewer weighed in and mentioned that theirs had an issue because the ground was made to the aluminum skin and it was loose. It really wouldn't hold the wire tight and make a good ground. So that's one of the things that I'm gonna have to investigate and figure out if we can solve this problem with a better ground. If anybody happens to know anything about how these are wired or where that ground might be located in this trailer, please leave us a comment.
We have somebody interested in looking at the Safari for the first time. We've had it posted for sale for a little while, and a lot of interest, people asking questions, but got someone to come look at it, and
We've decided the best approach is to just pop it into the campground where we're already staying, make sure it's clean and things are plugged in and working, and that way people can come, the person can come on their own time and look at it and evaluate it and test and flick and touch, and you know, I think that's the best. It's also really convenient for us because the storage that we use isn't really close to the campground. So we're going to check it in to our campground for tonight, check out tomorrow, and then we're going to keep it in our campground in like an overflow storage for about 2 nights, and then we're going to return it to storage if this individual doesn't want to purchase it.
Been in storage a little while. It's actually not too bad.
Did you see that roller coaster on ramp?
Yeah.
Holy cow! It's like half a mile of like.
Elevated freeway.
Wow! I feel accomplished. I'm not gonna lie. It was tight and just.
I'm a little sorry we're driving in traffic. My work's been a little bit extra lately. When I first started, I had on call about every 7th week, and now I've got it every 3rd week. So that's really not ideal, but I had to take the afternoon off to start with this project, and so
I mean, nobody gave you any trouble.
No, they didn't, but I just said, gotta go, gotta work on this. It's more important right now. So for that, I'm happy, but yeah, I think we're underway on this. Hopefully we can get this thing in good shape.
And make that sale.
Find a new owner.
Can you help me?
Okay, what do you need?
I can't see to reach in.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll resume picking the sticky pad out of the shower from the soap dispenser.
Yeah.
the showing went well. We had the camper in the campground overnight. The fridge cooled down.
Water
The AC,
got hot.
yeah, water got hot. The AC was cranked up. Everything went according to plan. No surprises with systems not working. So we were able to show it. I think it was a success. What would you say?
I would say it was a success, and now we're taking the trailer back to tuck it into storage. I liked doing it in the campground because it gave people the ability to like not just take our word that everything was working. They could like turn the water on and flick all the lights on and, you know, test the toilets and you know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
like
test everything.
Yeah, and really see. I liked that it didn't have any funny smells or anything. It was just kind of ready to go, and I'd call it a win. Let's hope this is the first of many showings. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it may not be the right trailer for them, but that's okay.
they didn't say anything either way.
The trailer's been in storage for a little while now, so it was nice to get it out and give it a little exercise and
Give it a bath.
do a little inside cleaning. There's honestly nothing terrible wrong, but yeah, it was nice to just kind of spruce it up.
Big bump. Huh?
Oh yeah. A little sad to be putting this trailer back in storage. Honestly, I really like it.
I do too. I had all the feelings about all of our adventures that we went on.
Places we've gone and how that trailer works great for certain things.
We don't need 2 Airstreams, but I have to tell you, if I could keep it, if I were like, if I suddenly won the lotto, there'd be signs.
Yeah. Yep. Glad we had the same thoughts on that. One of the things we didn't film with the flood the other day was our Viair compressor. It was actually shorting out in the rain.
So with the tonneau cover being basically unusable right now, and a new tonneau cover being $1,000, I think the most judicious solution is to put this underneath in the undercarriage and relocate it, because when I go to the grocery store or different places, it's actually just kind of an attractive hazard. That's my opinion anyway. Andrew seems to have a different opinion, but I think that we should move it under.
Yeah, I think I agree.
The dreaded red switch.
So yeah, the switch that's been the problem in the past, what I actually had to do was take the wire off of it so that it wouldn't short out and run in the torrential rain. So just having the compressor running whenever it wants to is really not ideal.
Look at those storm clouds rolling in.
Yeah, I was just noticing.
That way.
Oh, yeah, those look angry.
Team effort to get the trailer on edge as fast as possible. Starting to pour, I think.
You're off the ball, stop! Unplug, let's go!
Hate to leave him here under these conditions, but
Skin of our teeth, guys, skin of our teeth.
I think we gotta go. I'd like to direct you to the weather we were having when we pulled in here.
I didn't. Can you see the rainbow?
Ever so faintly. I'm not sure we'll find a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, but I think it's vaguely near where the HEB is.
Ooh, I love HEB.